as we've been talking, we have labels, and good and negative, positive, negative, neutral. So where does that come from? The mind of discrimination. The mind that says from its own side, on the basis of form, color, I am saying it is like this. So is it like that? If I say this is good, this is bad, just conventionally, there is that good and bad. So the good label we can place from our mind based on previous positive karma, and then projecting out, this is good. Why good? Well, what's your method of discrimination? From now, up until now, it was based on the self. But now the method of discrimination should be based on other. Is it good for them? As opposed to, is it good for me? So I think we move in stages from discrimination coming from the self, then discrimination being useful in relation to others, what's beneficial behavior, what's good for them, what's not good for them. But ultimately, then you would remove all labels. You wouldn't have any labels. You'd just know what the object was and the function of the object. So you'd say, water, flower, just like that. But for instance, if this water is poisoned, which is quite likely, would the Buddha know the water is poisoned? Would you still call it just water? Is the label appropriate to the base? So it's water, but if you put poison in the water, and there is a situation where somebody put poison in the food to kill Buddha. So I'm giving you a real example. So somebody put poison in the water. Now is the label just water appropriate to the base if you know it's poison water? So then the label, goodness gracious, what happened to you? So then you know it's poison water. The label is poison water. Then can you say it's good water or bad water to drink in relation to should I drink it? Then it's bad water because you shouldn't drink it. So I guess in that way, we can use labels in order to benefit others, not to harm others, because you wouldn't want to just offer this to somebody and say, well, there are no labels anymore, so even though I know this water is poisoned, because I'm beyond labels, take the water, knowing it's poisoned. Then what purpose would it be to have no labels? No labels is when you're doing your meditation, you're starting to find the labeling mind. Oh, I really like this and I really don't like this. But can you function without labels? I think in conventional society, we have labels because they're useful for us. But do you believe in the label? Is the next thing to go to. So, are the labels beneficial for us? I think so. In that we just say table, flower, and we can communicate, we know what we're talking about. But more than that, we believe in the label. A really good person, a really bad person. If I say that's a really bad person, and I give you reasons for it, or even don't give you reasons for it, you believe in the labels I'm putting on that person. But it's only true from my side, from my point of view, from my experience, not all experiences. Just that one bad experience or 10 bad experiences doesn't make that person a bad person. It means they've done bad actions. So can you label actions good or bad? You should be able to, because otherwise you don't know what to avoid and what to promote. That's why we have the 10 virtues, 10 non-virtues. But then, like I said, we can turn everything on its head and say, these are good, these are bad, and now what we were saying was good, you should do, even though it's bad, because the long-term benefit is there. So I think this is complicated because you move from a sort of child's understanding of things to a more evolved understanding of things. Your mind doesn't stand still. So in that evolution, we don't want to make trouble for you. And this labeling self is where you can get into trouble, because you put the label and then you believe in the label. But is the label true? It's only true for me, from my karma, from my point of view. So should we remove all labels? I think in a conventional way we can't. We have to have labeling. You know, John, Mary, table, chair, flower, like that. But when we're labeling, that's a good person or that's a beautiful table, does it exist? Maybe that's where we should be going. Not removing table, but good table, beautiful table. I really like the table. I want to have that table. I'd love to have that, you know. So desire and attachment. Then the label promotes more desire and attachment. Doesn't promote more happiness. The label can promote more delusion and more dissatisfied mind.